Welcome to the M.O.V.E. Show. Release your junk and move into your destiny with Dr. Michelle. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Barr, spiritual coach, counselor, and former crisis and trauma therapist. If you've ever felt like you might be the one standing between where you are and where you're meant to be, you're in the right place. Each week, I'll guide you with powerful teachings, tools, and techniques to help you clear, heal, and resolve what's keeping you stuck. This is your safe place to land and your next level upgrade. Let's release that junk and move. Make a decision, own it 100%, visualize it, and execute it. The M.O.V.E. Show starts now. Hello, welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you today. The first thing I want to ask you is, have you ever had a decision to make and just got stuck there? Or you tried to move forward into what you desired without actually making a decision? These are very common things I've been through myself, and that I've talked to a lot of people that have had this, and they just get stuck there. There you are, stuck in confusion for way too long, when what you need to do is make a decision so that you can move forward toward what you desire. I have a very unique approach to everything that I'm going to talk with you about, and I'm going to give you tools and techniques as part of the processes I use. And I work with my clients intuitively, energetically, and strategically. So there's a lot of energetics to this that I want you to be aware of as we go through it. And then there are real world actions that need to be taken. And you've got to find that balance and be doing both of those things. I have been inspired so many times by Jack Canfield's story with Chicken Soup for the Soul. He had a dream so vast and so large. And I'm a visionary, so I'm always dreaming big. But then I used to just collapse. Like, I don't know how to make this work, until I found and started using a formula so that you work with it instead of against yourself. He had this big dream and he could vision it and he could see it. And he was rejected so many times, 144 times. He almost went bankrupt, but here's the thing. He and Mark decided they were doing this. What gets you is that in and out, second guessing, self-doubting, stop and start energy. That's why we're starting today with why the decision is so important, and actually why the decision is sacred. They made a decision. We are doing this. Until you make that decision and you take that first inspired, aligned action, the universe doesn't know you're doing it right now, and then it will rush in with all manner of resources and support. But if you haven't seen that, it's because you haven't made the decision and actually gone all in. They owned it 100%. They visualized it, and then they took inspired, aligned action. These are the things I'm going to be talking with you about. And you can bring to mind just one thing that you're sitting in right now, allowing yourself to stay in confusion for way too long. And you can get into the energetics of this and the strategies of this and really move yourself forward. What would that be for you? Use this as a launch pad for that today. I have come to believe that decision is sacred. Most people believe they need to feel ready before they decide. That will get you. They wait for confidence, they wait for proof, they wait for clarity. Here's the thing, what I have learned and what I teach is that clarity doesn't come before the decision. Your decision is what moves the energy. Get this, really get this. Your decision is what signals to the universe, I'm serious, I'm ready, I'm committed. Without a decision, you stay stuck in an energetic loop, circling, second guessing, self-doubting. Your destiny doesn't chase you. It waits for you to move. That's one to write down and really capture it until you get it. Your destiny doesn't chase you. It waits for you to move. The thing is, first you start learning all these basic principles that people talk about, all different teachers and mentors and coaches and thought leaders, and you grab the big pieces. But when it's not working, it's because now you're getting into the nuance. Now you're getting into the subtle. And I've just taken a much deeper dive so that I can help you with those parts. I have my own move story. I have lots of move stories that I'll share with you. Let me tell you about a day that changed my life forever. I have many, and here was the first one before I fully understood all of this that was going on. And so it was my teaching and training ground, my learning lesson moments. I was standing at a crossroads. I had finally said yes and made a decision and gone in, and I was building my first business, my own business, doing what I love. And there were a lot of pieces I'll be sharing with you over time and that I write about in my books and talk about online, where I didn't do all the things necessary, but it had to start energetically. So I had built a business that the community loved and the people were showing up. I got that part right, but I wasn't making good decisions and owning it 100%. And here I was at this place. I was exhausted, misaligned, starving myself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And people could see it looked successful on paper. And I got to a place where it appeared that I was going to have to shut my business down after only 18 months. I had to get rid of the little house that Hope House started in, and I was standing there turning the key to lock the door for the last time. And I could have felt defeated. Other people could have come in and said, well, it didn't work. You need to go get a job. You have a husband, you have children at home, you have college coming up, you have bills to pay. But that was my chicken soup for the soul, Jack Canfield moment. And I got grounded and I got clear and I said, I am making a decision. I am doing this. And then I owned it 100%. And within literally minutes, the universe rushed in with all manner of support. But the universe doesn't play the if-win game or the win-then game. If you give me this, I'll do this. You always have to go first. I'm sitting here over 18 years later with a very successful global online business. And that was one of those defining moments. So I invite you to think about your story. Think about your story. Think about your crossroads moment. Have you made a decision? Are you all in? Are you doing this no matter what? If you look for evidence that it's not working and you get stuck in those stories, you'll just find more of that. I kept asking for signs and looking for clarity, but nothing really shifted until the day I said, enough. I choose myself. I move. I move. M-O-V-E. I didn't know the full plan. I didn't have all the answers. Now, this far down the road, I'm very, very comfortable with that. But I get it. In the beginning, no. It was terrible. It was excruciating. It was painful. It was tearful. Yet I learned. I didn't know the full plan. I didn't have all the answers. But the moment I made that sacred decision, doors began opening that I couldn't have even imagined. Sometimes you just know when something is right. It didn't happen because I worked harder and figured it all out. It happened because I finally said yes to myself and I made a decision. The first step in my move process, my M.O.V.E. Where do you need to make a decision right now? Take this in and set it on your schedule to spend some time with yourself today, tonight, tomorrow morning, this week, and really dive deeper into this. So here we are at this place. We're looking at decision. We're understanding where we are and what it looks like when a decision has to be made. Hopefully you're starting to understand why the decision is sacred and why make a decision is the first piece in this process. I have used this throughout my life over and over again. I've had to make major decisions. I've had to make small decisions. I will tell you, the story I just told you was huge. It was a big, huge story in my life at that time. And yet I've come to similar crossroads. I was in one just recently, and I always go back to the move process, and I always start by me making a decision. In the early days, I even caught myself sometimes asking everyone else out there, what is my decision? What would you do if you were me? Well, one, unless you're asking people who've created the success that you're desiring and who have what you want to have, are being what you want to be and doing what you want to do, don't do that. Now, I have not been without a coach in years and years. I have not been without a coach since 2009. So I tell you, if you're going to hire coaches, mentors, teachers, great, then you can ask them, but you still have to make the decision. The move process begins here. So what did I do? I made the decision and I owned it 100%. It's simple but profound. Make a decision. When you make a soul-aligned decision, you shift timelines. You collapse delays. You call your destiny forward, all when you make a soul-aligned decision. Decision is the catalyst that activates momentum. It's not the plan, it's not the perfect strategy, it's not the right timing. Remember, I told you, I work in energy, intuition, and strategy. You're going to use all of it. But if you do the energetic work first, it saves you so much. And it helps the universe do some of the heavy lifting. Now, I learned in my life, and you'll see examples of this everywhere, there are people who do both. You can do a lot of hard work. You can pound the pavement. You can work matter upon matter, pounding the hammer to the nail, and you can make things happen. But you also see along with that a lot of stories of burnout, other areas of people's lives that are not satisfying and fulfilling or are downright painful. And then you can learn to work energy impressed on energy so that things take form in a way that supports you and sustains you. And if this is lighting up for you, then keep with me watching my show, all the resources I have for you, because this will help you get there. It's your energy deciding that you're ready to become the next version of you. Here's another thing when we get into this whole process is that a decision has not been made until an action has been taken. You get inspired, you make the one decision, and this is key too. When you're using this, when you're starting out, working with me, going with me on this, trusting me until you build your own evidence and belief, you've got to know that you want to focus in on one decision. And you can get scattered, and it's like following that rabbit hole. Well, I got to do this, but then I got to do this, and then I got to do this. So you are making a decision. And what I just told you, a decision has not been made until an action has been taken, which activates everything. That is all in my simple but profound MOVE process. Your energy decides that you're ready to become the next version of you. Now, I want to take a moment. This is more than just you listening to me. This is you really opening up and receiving an activation of whatever is inside of you right now that you need to consider, that you need to open up to. It's no accident that you tuned in. There are no coincidences. What there are breadcrumbs. And going back to Jack Canfield and going back to my own big dream and vision of my business, when you dream big dreams, when you set big goals and intentions, when you have big visions and you want to move forward in any area of your life, one of the things I'm going to talk to you about a lot is everything that is not in alignment with that you cannot take with you where you're wanting to go, rises up to be cleared, healed, and resolved. As simple a thing as listening to me right now and activating this within you and making a decision or making a decision to make a decision. Don't keep getting ready to get ready to get ready. This is where the rubber meets the road and starts all the other things coming towards you that you want, need, and desire to make all your dreams come true. So let yourself be activated and understand the opening. And then this show and me showing up and anything you do after this show, you go look at my website where I have free resources for you. You go watch my YouTube videos. You connect with me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on all the places helping you and communicating with you. This is my life's work talking about this. And if you're new to me, I just want to make sure you know that I always go first, and then I turn around and I reach out and I walk you through the fires I've already gone through. But I'm never going to ask you to do anything that I have not done and done often. And as I continue to grow and evolve, I will share that with you and you will grow and evolve. So opening up to this, where in your life or business have you been circling instead of choosing? You don't have to have an answer right now. Just open to this. After this show, journal about it. Or when you go to sleep at night, set an intention to dream about it and wake up with some clear thought, with some clarity, with some insight. Where in your life or business have you been circling instead of choosing? What is your soul already whispering yes to? And then your oh so helpful mind that is trained and created to keep you safe, comfortable, and familiar is throwing up all the reasons you shouldn't do it, you can't do it, why you won't do it, why it'll never work. You've got to start learning you are not your mind. You are separate from your mind. Your mind has a place, but it was never meant to be the master. It was meant to be the servant. It is a tool. This is for another day to have a whole show about this, but I do not allow my mind to make any decisions for me about my life, my business, about anything. So for now, even if you don't fully understand that, just what is your soul already whispering yes to? What would it feel like to stop delaying and decide today? There are no mistakes. There are no wrong turns. This is all your journey, your destiny, and you've got to move forward. Fence sitting is the worst thing you can do. It gets you nowhere. It hurts, and it keeps you stuck and stagnant. But there is no not making a decision. There is no neutral. You are always making a decision, even if that decision is to not decide. Your destiny doesn't wait. It responds to decision. Here's another one. You don't even have to know what your destiny is right now. Tap into one desire. Tap into one desire and make one decision. Take a deep breath. If you're not familiar with breath work, it's a great tool and we'll be using it as we go along. I use it in my life. Deep breathing, belly breathing. Some people are shallow breathing their way through life. Take a deep breath with me. Place your hand over your heart and whisper to yourself or say it out loud. I am ready. I decide. I move. Get clear on what this decision is that you're making, because the moment you decide, the moment you move, the universe rushes in to meet you. Let that land. Let it land. What you're hearing is coming to you in multiple ways right now, in multiple places, in multiple ways. So let that land. If this message has stirred something in you, because I believe if you're here listening to it, watching it, whenever that is, live or at any time in the future, if it was shared with you, if you stumbled upon it, a lot of times people say, I don't even know how I found you. And then there you were, and you were speaking directly to me. That's what this does. That's what happens. That's what gets activated. If today's message stirred something in you, if you're feeling the sacred call to move, then you're ready to make a sacred decision for you. Is there something you recognize? You've been asking everybody else, what should I do? Should I do this? Shouldn't I do it? I'm doing it. I'm not doing it. What do you think? What should I do? If you're at a place where you want and need that, then get a coach, a mentor, a spiritual teacher, someone to help you navigate. But I also want you to start learning to trust you and learning to use these processes on your behalf. I invite you to the free resources I have on my website and connect with me on social media where I inspire, motivate, teach, and train every day. You can visit my website to get resources to help you find your next step. I want you to remember your destiny is a daily decision. Let's move together. If you'll look, I have a giveaway for you. If you're even confused right now and your mind's trying to save you from listening to what I'm talking about, I have a 21-day email course to experience what it's like to have your own personal success coach. Every day for 21 days, just give me 15 or 20 minutes. And I will give you what you need, and it will start making sense. The biggest thing you can do is to not get stuck in This doesn't work for me. This hasn't worked. I've already heard this. I know this. Let something activate in you today. And then stay tuned, because the move process begins with M, make a decision. O, own it 100%. V, visualize it. That means spending 5 minutes a day in your vision. Jack Canfield and Mark, they were visioning it. We see this and we see this and we see this. Oh my goodness, what a giant, vast dream. How do we make it work? One of the universal laws is leave the hows to the universe. And I'll be teaching you more about that next time. And then E is execute. Make a decision, own it 100%, visualize it, and then execute it. And that is where taking inspired, aligned action comes in. Because remember, a decision has not been made until a real world action has been taken. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I'm going to leave you with that. You've been listening to The M.O.V.E. Show. Release your junk and move into your destiny. Catch us every first and third Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. Don't miss a moment. Subscribe, like, and share with your friends. And let's keep the conversation going. Connect with me on social at Michelle Barr Coach. And if you're ready for your next step, grab my latest bestseller, Loving What's Next, at michellebarr.com. Until next time, keep clearing the junk. Make a decision, own it 100%, visualize it, and execute it. Until next time, remember to keep moving.